Welcome back. I've cut away quite a lot of the old paint, and there was bits of filler just trying to expose. Let me just turn the light on. Got an LED. There we go. Let me just I need to pop my glove on. I've got gloves here. Just I don't want to risk getting any sort of metal shards in my hands. Right. It's it looks a mess. It really does look a mess, but honestly, I'm not worried about this. This is a relatively, it looks quite extensive. Well, I suppose it is, but, I'm not worried. This is an easy job, really. Access is quite awkward. I'm lying on my back in the street. Now, what we had underneath here were relatively, it was something similar to this. There was a few sort of, there was no gaping holes like that. There were little tiny holes here. Yeah, it was about 18 months ago, and they've ground it, and you can just see the edges of the plate. So they've plated it, bashed the plate in, and just tried to profile it with filler. So I don't know. I'll try and grind the plate off. It'll make a hell of a row. I'm in the street. I don't really want to be aggravating my neighbours with me with a bloody grinder howling, but if I don't, I'm going to end up trimming right out up here. But then, what messes it? Yeah, I suppose because they'll have bashed the original in to try and get the plate to fit. The original's not going to be in much cop anyway. So really, damn it, I'll just trim. I think I'll just trim the whole lot out. As you can see, this is good metal all around here, and this one. See, looking from here, look. It's underneath the curve. The damage is on the bottom of the curve. I can keep the original curve. If it had been properly repaired, we could have kept that original curve. But I think I'm going to lose some of the original curve trying to get that plate off. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so I'll clearly have to trim all this out. But I'm really pleased that the original flange. See, the floor pan is perfect. The floor pan's never been welded on this car, and it isn't rusty. And that's the original sort of spot welds along here from the factory. The flange is all good, even underneath this bloody mess here. So what I'll do, I'll definitely grind off the weld and hopefully expose the original flange. And being as I'm going to make that much noise, I might as well try and grind this off here. If I can grind this weld away, see, the plate's quite large. It's about a foot long and about 3 inches wide. I should be able to peel it off. But yeah, it's going to make an awful row here in the street trying to tidy up the flange. But the original flange is underneath there, and I want to keep it as original as possible. Because this here, as you can see, is all good metal. It's nice and shiny. So if I can keep the original factory spot welds, all the better, next to the original factory inner sills and floor pan. Yeah, these are relatively minor. I'll be able to cut these out. Seam weld, oxyacetylene, a new piece in here, one here, and obviously a much bigger one there. And there's a decent bit of original metal in the middle here. Wherever possible, I think I'll try and keep the original metal. I know it seems like a lot of work trying to keep an original bit, but wherever possible, if that bit there, it's only a couple of inches, but if it's savable, I'll save it. Oh, I'm getting absolutely soaked here. It's pissing it down. I'm getting absolutely drenched lying here. It's like fine spray. God, it wasn't raining when I started. Now it's raining. Never mind. Yeah, I'm not going to grind it on camera because it's awfully noisy. It's tedious to watch. But I'm going to set up the grinder and try and grind some of this away. I'm not going to do too much because, as I say, I'm in the street and I've got neighbours. I don't want to be aggravating and we're making a lot of noise. But let's have a go. Let's see how far we get and see how much mess it makes. And hopefully I can get this plate off, and the original profile will still be there underneath and still in salvageable condition. So if I can keep the original profile and just, because it's actually flat, underneath here is actually flat, then we've got curve there. So it'll be a lot easier if I can keep the original profile in place without having to cut it and then try and weld a curve lying on my back with the wind. But we'll see. We'll see. Here's my new jack. I'm extremely happy with that jack. Had I had this jack I probably wouldn't have picked up the fine that I received from that wretched community protection officer that was so vindictive. My old jack simply wouldn't lift very high. This one would, and I could lift it up and down with a relative ease. But the sort of feeble jack I was working with, and you know, blocking it up on pallets and God knows what. But yeah, I probably wouldn't have, but to be honest with you, I couldn't afford that jack. It was quite costly, and it's a professional garage standard jack, and I just couldn't afford it a year ago when I did the work, and I got it now.